On Saturdays, we like to do the essentials. So today I'm going to talk about knives. Every kitchen needs a good collection of knives. Now I don't mean a large collection, just a good collection of knives that you can depend on. And a knife sharpener. I'm going to start off with stainless steel chef knife. Very simple, but you use it for lots of different things. To sharpen, very simple. You pull the knife, the blade flat towards you along the sharpening stone. Give it about 6 or 8 whacks on one side, turn it over, 6 or 8 whacks on the other. You want to be running the sharp edge along the stone, but on its side. Of course, not like this, that would dull it. And you want to get all the way to the tip, because the tip is an important part of the tool. After sharpening, wipe with a damp cloth to get any of the residue off. That's a basic kitchen chef knife. But this is my favorite. Pretty much the same shape, same size, but it's not stainless steel, it's carbon steel. That's why it looks so stained and dark and maybe ugly. It's got a plain oak handle, barely finished with an oil finish. Old-fashioned knife, but I love it because it takes an extremely sharp edge. Sharpened just the same way. 5 or 6, I never count them, whacks on one side, about the same number on the other, being sure to get all the way to the tip. It's even more important with carbon steel to wipe the blade with a damp cloth afterward, because you don't want any of that carbon residue in the food that you're cutting. Another word about carbon steel, it will rust, so don't put it in the dishwasher. Be sure and wash it and dry it by hand after you use it. You also want to be careful about cutting things that might discolor, like the red cabbage we used in the nutty slaw. A carbon steel knife will turn that red cabbage blue. Not pretty in a salad. A carving knife. Not a gigantic one, just a good one that feels good in your hand, well balanced. I have small hands, so I prefer smaller knives. Sharpen this one exactly the same way. And again, this is stainless steel. It will not take as sharp an edge as the carbon steel, but then it doesn't need to be sharpened quite as often. Wipe it clean. Don't forget to sharpen your paring knives. I have two, a concave and a convex. Depending on what I'm cutting up, I might prefer one over the other. Sharpen the same way. And of course, when you're not on camera, you'll wipe them. Now, we have several serrated knives. This one was just used, so it hasn't even been washed yet. Serrated knives, you're going to have to take to a professional sharpener. If you try to sharpen them yourself on the whetstone, you're going to lose all these little serrations. So don't try to do these yourself. But keep them clean and keep them dry. You're going to need a couple of good forks. This is the one I use all the time for everything. I might have even picked this up at a thrift store. This one I usually use for big roasts, lifting a turkey with 2 of them, or on the barbecue where I don't want to get too close to the heat. Start out with a collection like this and you can do just about any job you've got in the kitchen. Don't worry about fancy or expensive. Get knives that feel good in your hand and do the right job the way you like it done.